Sige, mag-start na ako. Good afternoon po sa inyong lahat, Coach Neil at sa mga participants. No? Another episode ng ating Game of the Week. This afternoon, I'm going to feature a game of Grandmaster Ulf Andersson, the Swedish superstar. Isa siyang player na with a strategic style. Usually, mga ganitong players ay merong accurate positional play, impeccable technique. He is known for favoring long end games. Magaling siya sa rook ending, saka minor pieces. And usually, ang favorite na structure niya is double fianchetto. Isa rin siyang expert sa hedgehog formation with either color. Ganun din isa rin siya expert sa Catalan. In particular, yung mga endgames niya sa Catalan is dapat pag-aralan kung kayo ay natira ng Catalan opening. And also, is expert again sa Maroxybine in both colors again. And then, ang kanyang peak, he reached the number 4 rating sa buong mundo noong 80s and with a peak rating of 2690. So, in our age, yung 2690 niya is more than 2700 yan, almost 2800. No? So, usually, he prefers to grind down his opponents in the endgame. Ang kanyang mga opening usually is more inclined towards early simplification na magkakaroon kaagad ng maagang endgame position. No? So he is very well versed in creating weaknesses kasi ang expertise niya is kung meron ka isang weakness, gagawin niyang dalawa yan. He is very good at converting the advantage of two weaknesses, saka yung in particular sa mga technician na katulad niya, yung space advantage. No? So I will present a game here played in 1988 Thessalonica Olympiad sa Greece. No? It is a match between Sweden and Israel. Ang opponent niya rito is Alon Greenfeld, who is not yet a grandmaster at that time, but papunta na siya. Actually, may grandmaster naman siya. And he played in board 1 tussle against Grandmaster Ulf Andersson. So the game started with knight f3. Dito pa lang makikilala mo na kung anong klaseng player ang kalaban mo. No? Knight f3. Paano makikilala? Isang tira pa lang. Knight f3, if you are an English player, you started with knight f3, na-eliminate mo na ang isang depensa ng kalaban mo, which is, if you're an English player, you play c4, meron siyang e5. So knight f3, you are trying to play the English formation for white without black having to play e5. No? So dito, ang information makukuha natin, by playing c4, the English opening, e5 is one of the best defenses against the English opening. So this
Coach,
also,
excuse lang po. Hello? Hello, Coach?
yes.
Naka-present na po ba yung screen?
Ay, hindi pa. Teka muna, nagluluko ata itong aking kwan. Sige, try ko ulit.
Apo.
Buti, nasabi mo.
Apo. Akala ko po sa site ko.
May konting problema ako. I'm sorry about that, ano? So ito, nakita na natin knight f3. Pakisabihin lang po ako, Coach Neil, kung medyo may technical problems po, no?
Yes po, Coach. Thank you po.
Knight f3. So nasabi ko ng dahilan. So Greenfeld also played knight f6. So napunta tayo sa usual English formation. G3, typical Andersson, B6. Now, kinontra kagad ni Greenfeld ang balak ni Andersson to put the bishop on the long diagonal. So here, inoccupy niya kagad ang the only open line sa position na to, which is H1 to A8. So hindi nagpabaya si Greenfeld. Then casting C5, and here we have the usual moves of the English opening, transposing into the hedgehog formation, no? Usually, hindi tayo ka-capture dito with the knight on D4 because capturing the knight D4, tinutulungan mo yung black to ease up his game by changing the light squared bishop. So, mahirap nang manalo pag ganon. So, after capturing on D4 with the queen, hindi ka naman dapat mag-worry na kung titirahan ka ng black ng knight C6. Kasi meron ka naman ditong Queen F4, which usually favors white in this position. Although hindi naman malaki ang advantage. So, in the game, Greenfeld played D6. No? Now we're having the hedgehog formation. And here, merong dinevelop si Anderson na variation, which is named after him. In later years, he played bishop to G5 and he scored very well with this continuation. No? But in the game, it was played in 1988. B3 was the in vogue, yun ang uso nun. Actually, it is mga naunang game pa rito na playing the same line, which was adopted in Jartarsson Kinderman. I will show you what happened to that later. No? After B3, the idea was to place the dark squared bishop sa A3, again hitting on D6. So yan ang primary target ng white in this position. Because the pawn on D6 cannot be protected by a pawn. So pyesa ang didepensa dyan. And also, pwedeng i-follow up ng white ng another move to attack D6 with knight to B5. So B3 is a multi-purpose move. It also strengthens the C4 square, which helps stops the break in the center by black, itong D5. No? Okay. And here, there are two popular continuations for black. Right now, the most popular is castling. But at that time, no 1988, it was more popular for black to play NB to D7 with the same typical idea for black to put his knight on the support point C5 square. No? So here, Anderson continued as Jartarsson played against Kinderman the same year. A few months earlier, in tournaments of Munich, he played knight to B5. And then, of course, usually at that time, black usually plays knight to C5. But in our time, modern players, they prefer to play D5, as Magnus Carlsen himself played against Nakamura way back in 2008. No? But actually, D5 is the top choice of the computer, of the engine. Continuing with CD5, bishop to D5, and putting the bishop on the long dark diagonal. But this is not the game continuation. After Greenfeld played knight to C5, of course, with this strategic style, Anderson played the simple rook to D1. He prepares the simple line of play with targeting chess. No? Yan ang mga laro ni Anderson. Meron siyang specific target, so he doesn't have to do some complicated maneuvering. He prepares those simple lines. So katulad nito, having a lot more pressure on the semi-open D file. So here, Greenfeld followed the play of Stefan Kinderman. He played knight f2 e4. So with the idea of playing the bishop to f6, skewering the rook on a1 by attacking the queen. Ito merong problem, no? Excuse me. We can see the formation of the two knights here in the center. The knight at c5 and the knight at e4. This is known as the connected knights. Okay, maganda tingnan, mutual protection, but this has a drawback. Usually, I first learned this from Mikhail Botvinnik that these connected knights have a tactical weakness. In order to exploit this, you have to attack them simultaneously, bawat isa. Imagine, kung wala yung bishop sa b7, if you play an attacking move like b4 to the c4 knight, libre na yung knight sa e4, no? And then, what attracted Greenfeld here, because in the game Hjartarson played several months earlier, Hjartarson could not find the correct continuation here for white, and he played just to avoid the bishop to f6 move. He played queen e3. 2 years after this game, in the encounter with Grandmaster Coach Noy, Greenfeld also went into the same formation, but here Coach Noy played, smelling a novelty from Greenfeld. He played another type of move here. He played queen takes g7. Now, in the ensuing play, it is Greenfeld who got lost in the complex middle game. So, but that was another story. Here, after knight f to e4, Anderson, with his deep understanding of chess, exploited the position of the two connected knights. He doesn't mind losing the rook on a1. He played a novelty. At that time, he played b4. Now, presently, this is considered the reputation of the move knight f to d4. So we have to make that move knight f to d4. We have to classify it as a mistake. After Anderson played b4, of course, Greenfeld, following his pre-game preparation, played bishop to f6. So there's nowhere for the queen to go but queen e3. Okay. Captured the rook at a1. And now, to get something, some material back, Anderson played b takes c5. Now, when do we study this game? No, we can use what I posted in the group chat. These 7 timeless reference points. No, we have to discuss them one by one. First and foremost is the material balance, or the material relationship between forces. Right now, Black has an exchange ahead. It is his move, and he can even win another pawn in exchange for the knight he lost. So this favors Black materially. And regarding the presence of direct threats, of course, we can clearly see there is a direct threat on d6 by white, even though it is protected twice by the queen and the knight at e4. Now, the third one, the position of the kings, their safety, is probably the most important reference point in chess. No, And here it is directly has a bearing on the result of the game. Because White's king is, as we can see, there's a lot of pawn cover with the bishop fianchetto on G2 and the knight at F3. It is well protected. And Black's king is still in the center. Even though it is his turn to move, he can castle right now. Now, number 4, possession of open lines. Of course, we can see there is only one open line here. The H1, A8 diagonal. But there are a lot of semi-open lines like White's possession of the semi-open D file. Okay, there is a semi-open B file. And Black's possession of the semi-open long dark diagonal. Here, number 5, pawn structure, weak and strong squares. This is very important. We all know that pawn structure determines the kind of play you're going to do or the strategy that you should use. Here, Black has the better pawn structure. He has only 2 pawn islands, while White has 3 pawn islands, and he still has a double pawn on the C file. But the presence of weak and strong squares looks like it favors White because D6 is very weak, very weak square. On the strong square for Black, it is C5. The C5 square is a strong square for him. He can use that. But right now, I think regarding the pawn structure, Black is the better pawn structure, but regarding the weak and strong squares, this favors slightly White. Now we come to the center and space. Okay, here we can see that a lot of pieces for White is stationed towards the center. The rook, in particular, on the semi-open file, the queen on the E file. Okay, and there's a lot more space because his knight at B5 is more aggressive. Control of the semi-open D file, and G5 is in White's control. Now, development and position of the pieces, this is where it greatly favors White. We can see that White is better developed here, and the position of his pieces is much more active than Black. Black has a lot of hanging pieces. The dark squared bishop at A1, the light squared bishop at B7, there's no protection. And the knight at E4 is very vulnerable. Okay? It is only depended by the bishop at B7, and it is within the range of the fianchettoed bishop at G2. And right now, it is under pressure by the queen along the semi-open E file. And that pressure along the semi-open E file extends up to the Black king. So we can say here that White is better in this position, maybe slightly better, but not yet a clear advantage, even though it is Black's to move, Black's turn to move, and he has the exchange up and can win another pawn. Of course, Black continued with capturing the pawn at C5. Let us see what other moves are available here for Black. In another game, casting was played in the game Smith and Saichik in the next year, in 1989. Okay, I have a sample of the game here. We'll see some continuation played by Black here. After casting, which puts the Black king into a safer position, White has the strong move here, knight to G5, exploiting Black's vulnerable pieces along the long light squared diagonal. So there are several lines available for black here. I will just pass over some of them. If black captures at G5, of course, the white captures back. And then if after capturing back on G5, you can see this bishop takes B7 and giving a lot of problems to black. So the rook is under attack, and if it moves away, white has two very good continuations here. You can either capture on G5 and then exposing an attack on the A1 bishop, and also you can play C6. A sample line here, knight to E4. You can play bishop to A3. You can see clearly that the D6 square is hard to defend. No, it plays bishop to E5. A simple pawn attack will relinquish another defender away from D6, and then a simple capture. And we can clearly see that this really is very much evidently, clearly better, if not winning for white. You can also try to capture on C5, but then there is a big problem. After white captures on B7, there is Capablanca's favorite move of bringing the queen, centralizing it on E4 with a double attack on H7 and the B7 knight. So it is clearly demonstrated here white's advantage in the center and space and superior piece activity. So we can see that Anderson is not only a positional player, but is a sharp tactician as well. Okay. So here, one of the continuation for black here is to bring back the bishop instead of castling. Then white has rook takes D6, another exchange sack, and if blacks accept it, we will give a check on D6. Now black will no longer have some castling, and this clearly favors white, if not a clearly winning position. In the game, green 12 played B takes C5. Now is an exchange and pawn ahead, and here Anderson played the typical move, which should be played in positions, in a better position wherein you have an advantage in development. And how are you going to play in better position with the advantage in development? You should try to prevent your opponent from mobilizing his forces. No? And to achieve this, if given the chance, ang mga hanapin mong tira yung may mga concrete threats, forcing your opponent to waste time and energy. Paguri mo sila, make him dance to your tune. And usually mga tirang yan is connected with tactical blows. Gusto nyong mabuksan ng position, and then para mapabilis how to get after the opponent's king. So here, using his superior development, Anderson played knight to G5. So ang nag-dictate ditong strategy niya is one of my favorite mantra. Peace activity is more important than material. Okay. So here, there are several moves available for black here. You can play queen takes G5 or knight takes G5, and also the game continuation bishop to D4. Tingnan natin yung queen takes G5. Of course, simple D6 para mawala yung bantay sa queen. Mawawala ng castling rights. Kung king to E7, aalis lang ang queen dito sa Black is trying to exchange queen kasi that's one of the way of diminishing the damage. No? Ganap ka na mag-exchanges pag tagilid ka, but there is an attack on b7, an attack on the queen. So problematic yan. So the only move is king to f8. Ang problem naman yan, yung rook mo, matatagalan bago mapasama sa laban. So virtually, you are a rook down. No? And here, makikipagpalit lang. Queen takes queen, kung gusto ng itim. And then, after capturing the bishop on b7, pag umilag yung rook, libre yung knight. Dahil problema, may libre pa ngayon bishop sa a1. So another line here is yung knight e4 capture sa g5. So, and then, andito naman yung problem. Yung weak square d6. Capture, ilag ang king. Set up ka lang ng queen and knight battery along the a3, f8 diagonal. So, laking problema niyan. Maaaring mawala yung queen mo. No? Maaaring mawala yung bishop. Maaaring ka mong mamate. Maraming problema. So, Greenfeld, in this difficult position, chose bishop to d4. So, ayan, may support point siya, attacking the queen. So, kung kumapture man ng knight sa b5, mawawala yung active knight ng white sa b5 square na umatake sa d6. Toss, capture. Capture ko lang sa d4. You can see that the advantage of white regarding the position in the center, space, and superior development starting to make starting to tell, no? So here wala ka ng magandang itira dito. You cannot make even a pawn move. F5. Masyadong alanganin na kasi mahina na yung e6 square, f7 pa. Meron ka pang weakness sa d6. Kanina pa nagsimula. Yung problem mo pa sa long light square diagonal. So we can see here na very limited na option ng black. And if you're going to play this as black, titingnan mo, balik rin natin yung board. It is very difficult at this is time consuming. Papawisan ka na rito even though your exchange ahead, no? So here, coming back to the same white position for white, nilagay niya yung knight. Greenfeld put his knight to the strong square c5. Maganda nga support point. We can see here, this bishop at c1 walang ginagawa. So ito na lang yung masasabi nating worst piece ng white. But actually, this bishop plays a very important role in the game. It even decided, it put the last nail to the coffin of black. We can see that later on. No? So itong mga long-range piece, katulad ng bishop, doesn't have necessarily to be outside of the camp. No? Even within the original square, it can influence the game because right now, that bishop on c1 helps to protect the knight at g5 in its very aggressive position. Kasi may mga atake na yan dito. f7, h7, e6. Yung mga tender spots na yan ng black. Actually, f7, e6, and d6, yan ang favorite squares ni Tal na dyan siya nag-sacrifice. No? So here, ang bishop sa open lines along light square diagonal, niliminate lang ni Anderson. So wala nang active piece ang black. After black captures on b7, we can see that itong rooks hindi connected. It doesn't participate in the game. Very passive ang knight. Ang queen, wala rin ginagawa. And then this the danger of the king being in the center. So, iyan ang tinake advantage ni Grandmaster of Anderson. I was not expecting to see this kind of games katulad ni Ulf Anderson because he's known as a player with a strategic style, strictly positional, long end game ang usually makikita mo sa kanya. And here he played like he was a player from the 19th century. Alam mo, yung ginawa niya dito. So, what did he do? Nakita niya yung mga problem dito sa center squares, itong pawn formation na to. These are weak squares. No? Antimano tong D6 is a weak square. Also, from the very start of the game, we know that F7 and F2 are weak squares kasi king lang nagpo-protect yan. So here, if F7 is weak, then may infection nangyari. E6 is weak, D6 is weak. From that square, itong weak square D6, nadamay na itong dalawang pawn. Itong E6 sa F7. Now, mere mortals like us, hindi natin kagad nakita from the 12th move na tumira siya ng B4 na this will be the main problem ng black. No? Center control, more space, active pieces. No? And here, on the 19th move, I was not expecting the likes of Anderson to play knight takes F7, which is the best move here in the position. So, anong gagawin ng black? Matitira siya ng queen move, capture lang yung rook sa A8. Either queen E7 or queen D7, yun ang gagawin. So, force come capture. Now, we can see that the possession of better centralized pieces will be the dominant factor in this position. So, yung occupation itong long light squared by diagonal, the center squares D4, E4 will turn the game into white's favor. No? So, excuse me, nagkamali. After king takes F7, being a player with a strategic style, Anderson played queen to F3. So, may double attack, check sa king, saka yung knight sa F7. Actually, there is a much better move here. Rook to F4, no? According to the computer, na mas mabilis o mas malakas. I think it is a 5.5 points, 5.5 pawn advantage. But the move chosen by Anderson, F3, is playing true to his style. True to his strategic style, no? After queen F3, black is forced to go to G8, of course, para ma-avoid yung check after na makapture tong knight sa B7. You can see right now, white lang may active piece. Queen to B7, ang ganda ng hawak niya sa open line na to. H1 to A8, yung rook, semi-open na D-file. Itong bishop maaari pang maglaro sa A3, attacking D6. Pwede rin sa B4, F4, maybe in some instances, pwede rin sa G5. No? So, kahit na itong bishop na ito nasa C1, mas maganda naman ang kinabukasan kaysa dito sa mga rocks na ito. And of course, natural lang at logical na tumira ang black ng rook to B8 because hindi naman pwedeng pumunta ang queen to some other squares, no? In particular, pag itong rook pumunta sa C8, kakapture lang sa D6, mawawala yung bantay ng queen sa C8 rook. So, capturein lang yon, mawawala na naman yung rook dun sa H8. So, rook to B8 is the only move here. And then, through his strategic style, tumira dito si Anderson, one of my favorite moves, patras na malakas. And also, this queen move to E4, yan ang paboritong tira ni Capablanca. Sinabi niya na yan, itong paborito niya Capablanca, paboritong tira ni Capablanca. Because on queen 4, On E4, I mean, the queen dominates the whole position. So, hawak niya yung pasok na rook dito sa B1. Paki sa E6. Hawak niya yung diagonal. No? Maraming pupuntahan dito. Suportado niya yung rook sa D4. So, this is a very good move. Natandaan niyo, yung paboritong tira ni Capablanca. Laging nilalagay niya yung kwan. Every opportunity magkaroon siya, nilalagay niya yung queen niya sa E4. No? Marami ako nakita laro niya na maganda naging resulta sa E4. So here, Greenfeld, he wants to involve the H8 rook into play and also defend E6. Tumira ng king to F7. And here, Anderson continued this pressure sa una niyang targeted square, yung D6. No? Ito lang hindi kasali sa laro. So itong worst piece niya, siyempre, develop mo. A3. Kala ko nga sa F4 niya ilalagay. But F4 is not possible kasi merong tirang E5. No? So here, ito na naman, malaking problema. Cannot be defended anymore. Rook to B6, merong simple C5 ang white. So binigay na. Into F6. So here, pangalawang tira ng bishop, kumapture ng original weakness na inatake ni Anderson. You can clearly see here na even though they exchange down with 2 pawns na kapalit, very active ang position ng white. Kung titingnan natin, gagamitin natin engine, tinatin ako ng evaluation. No, naglalaro sa plus 3.2 o 3.8, no? Ang position for white. Mabot pa nga ng 4. So here, check. Pwedeng capturein ng white. Mawawala yung active rook niya sa D4. No? Market lang. So, dito natin makikita yung importance ng position ng king, their safety. No? Ito pa isang problem ngayon ng black. How to put this into play. Na-develop na. But here, another strong move by the bishop, no? Pangatlong tira, matras lang. Centralization with a vengeance. Yan ang exact words ni Nimzovich pag nakakita siya ng ganyan tira. So, from his inactive position at C1, itong pangatlong tira niya virtually puts the last nail into black's coffin. No? Atakado yung queen. Nakipagpalit, of course, para mabawasan yung problema mo. You have to try everything that's available for you. Umiwas lang ang queen. Hindi ka makikipagpalit sa mga ganyang position. Hindi ka makikipagpalit ng queen. Kasi unsafe ang king position ng black. So, taras na malakas lang. Here, meron threat. Rook to F4. Tuhog. Skewer ang queen sa king. So, you played G5, preventing rook to F4. Now, Anderson used another strategical device, one of my favorite also, a pawn storm. He played H4. So, gusto niya mawala yung bumabantay sa F4. And then, no other move available but H6. And then the strong move G4. Ganyan kalakas yung pawn storm because kung atras man siya sa G6, although in this position after G4, nag-resign na si Greenfeld because nakita niya na to. Kung atras yung queen sa G6, tutulakan lang siya uli ng pawn. And then, pagpunta niya sa H7, meron na kasi G7. Tapos na boxing yan. Kung haharang ang rook, capture lang, and then, andito na naman yung queen. Game ball. So, we can see here na kilala sa long in-game battle si Anderson. Dito na-demonstrate niya he can win in under 30 moves at very precise, clear-cut ang kanyang strategical play and the conversion of impeccable technique in converting the advantage in the development center after sacrificing the exchange. Yan ang mga isang player na kung mag-aaral kayo ng exchange sacrifices, siya at si Petrosian ang magandang pag-aralan. Ayun lang po. Coach Neil, kayo naman po.
Okay, Coach. Naaliw po ako dun sa branches. Ang ganda. May
Dito pa
chat nga ako kanina, Coach. Ayan po. Sabi ko, from
Meron
chess
nga sana ako ipapakitang magandang variation, kaya lang baka masyadong mahaba eh. Pakita ko na rin, nasabi ko na eh.
Sige, Coach. I-ano nyo na po.
Nakakatuwa kasi yung
Sige lang, Coach. Kaya.
pag nag-casting, teka, hanapin ko muna.
Apo.
Na-excited ako eh.
Nag-comment ako kanina, Coach. Sabi ko, from chess match to dance contest. So, walang nagawa.
Sige, saglit ha.
Sige po.
Nasabi ko na rin lang eh.
Players hintayin natin, sayang.
Teka muna, nagkamali na naman ako.
Back nyo lang, Coach.
Ulitin ko lang ha, saglit lang
Apo.
po mga kasama ha. Kailangan i-share ko pala ang sound. Okay. So, dito nag-castling sa portion na castling instead of capturing on C5, no? So, yung laro ni Smith saka ni Saichik, no, ng 1989, a year after ng laro ni Anderson kay Greenfeld. So, andito na naman yung key move, knight to G5. And here, saan ba yung magandang variation? Ito. In the game, Saichik played knight takes F2. No? Na kumapture dito si Smith sa F2. Okay, panalo pa rin. No? Pero may nakita ko magandang variation eh. No? I-share ko lang sa inyo. No? Rook to D6 ang mas stronger. Siyempre, atakado yung queen. It can go to E7, pero dito sa linyang queen to C8, dito ako nakakita na nakakatuwa. No? So, after playing C6, takado yung bishop, no? Gumanti ang black. Inatake yung queen. So, nag-threat ng mate. No? Dumipensa. Sabay counter-attack. Atake yung queen. Hindi pinansin, kumain lang. Kain ng queen. Dito kumain. So, we can expect na queen din. Nagulat ako, knight ang maganda. Bakit? Pinakain niyo ro. May tatlong knight, check. Sabi ko, nakita ko na to. Medyo delikado itong F7. Umilag. Kinapture yung knight sa D6, no?
Ay, pambira. May ganun.
Di ba? Hindi na ako nakakita ng ganyang position. No?
Ubos.
So, may threat mate sa F7. Basic. Kaya maganda yung tinuturo talaga yung mga yung mga basic.
Tapos hindi rin makakatulong yung H6, Coach, kasi may bishop eh.
Yes! Meron. Ito lakas itong bishop na to. Saka to. Malakas din to. Kahit nandiyan lang yan sa C1. Walang yan. Tambay pogi yan. Pero pamatayan, no? So, persado G6, no?
Yes, Coach, first.
No, ngayon, walang humpay na attack walang humpay na salakay ito. Kumbaga, sabi ng mga Tagalog, mga Pilipino, persado sa G7. Yan, lumabas din dark square bishop. Check, no? Punta sa F6, no? Inatrasan lang. Talaga yung paboritong tira, okay eh. So, pumunta doon sa G7, no? Ngayon, tika muna, pitasin ko muna to, ha? Pitasin ko muna yan, no? Pag kumapture dito, chumek uli. King to F6.
Grabe.
Ngayon, andito na yung atras. Umatras lang. No?
Holding hands lang yung mga knight.
Tapos, pilitan tumira, E5, no? So ngayon, umatras. Threat ng mate sa E4. Di ba? Anong gagawin niya? Dito chumek. Dito, punta lang dito sa G2. No? So ngayon dito, may mga mate. No? Try muna natin rook to C8. No? After rook to C8, check sa E4, no? Umakyat ang king, no? Another check pa. Punta dito sa G4, natin ng knight.
Parang pwede pa nga imatipon, coach eh.
Oo. Tapos
Ano?
after king G dito, pag tinry naman bishop to c5, meron na naman mate. Dito, ibang klase naman. Dito sa e4, yung knight sa d4 pumunta, nasa f5. Ayun, quiet move. Ito yung move nakakato. Quiet move, hindi na pipigilan yung g4 mate. Sabi ko,
Emotional damage.
very entertaining to position na to, no? Kaya kanina lang, hindi ko lang pinakita. Baka ako, kulangin ka ng time eh. Pero hindi na rin ako nakatiis. Ito na, makita nyo. I hope na nag-enjoy kayo, nagustuhan nyo sana itong game. Pero
Maganda, coach.
meron pa akong gustong ito yung bishop sa A1, ilalagay mo sa E7, ang laki ng pagbabago. No? Yung katulad na sinabi ko noon, are my pieces standing well or not? If they are not standing well, where is the best place for them? No? Kung ngayon, sa laro ni Greenfeld, kung yung bishop pala hindi pumunta sa long dark diagonal, nanatili lang sa E7, equal ang position. Equal ang position niya, no?
Yung paghahangat niya yung nakasama.
Yan, tuma-equal lang. Ito, 0.1 lang. Ano ba naman yun? 1/10 of a pawn. Equal lang yan. Kung yung bishop antimano, doon nanatili. Diba? Equal lang. Kaso, nagangat siya sa material. And
Yes,
then,
coach.
of course, yung mga kalibre ni na Anderson, yan ang mga player na kayang patunayan ang strategy, how to take advantage of this connected knight, which is a tactical weakness, no? Then, okay. Ayun lang po. Sana po nagustuhan ninyo ang presentation at naging instructive po sana sa inyong pananaw.
Napakaganda po, coach. So,
Okay.
players, nakakita tayo dun ng concrete na grind